Good evening, guys. Is my audio and video clear for you? Is my audio and video clear for you? Just 2 minutes, guys. Let the vegetable guy go. So we'll be discussing the concept of multi-threading in Java. Okay. Today we'll be discussing about the concept of multi-threading in Java. So in Java, to perform multitasking, okay, like while we are playing games, or while we are doing animations, or while we are doing some graphic complex processes, okay, to do these graphic complex processes we use multi-threading or multitasking in Java. Okay, we use multitasking in Java. So multitasking, we can achieve multitasking through multi-threading and multiprocessing techniques. Okay, we can achieve multitasking through multi-threading and multiprocessing techniques. Okay, so before knowing much more about multi-threading, so what is a thread? So what is a thread? It is just a sub process. Okay, it is just a sub process, or we can say the lightest form of a process. Okay, the minimum data or memory that is used by a single process or single work done. Okay, like you can say that the amount of data transferred through a unit of work. Okay, okay, this is called multi. This is called a thread. Okay, you can simply say the amount of work done in a unit time. Okay, the amount of work done in a unit amount of time. Okay, this is called a thread. Okay, so multi-threading and multiprocessing both are used to achieve multitasking. Okay, so where we use them most? Games, animations, graphic complex operations like editing. Okay, which are video editing, or say graphic editing, etc. Okay, etc. Okay, okay. So what is the use of this multi-threading? What is the use of this multi-threading? So multi-threading helps us to do multiple processes or multiple graphic oriented programs at a time. Okay, at a time. So this multi-threading have some advantages. This multi-threading have some advantages. What are they? Let's see. Okay, the first advantage is it doesn't block the user from doing other tasks. Okay, other tasks. Why? Because threads are independent. Okay, they are performed. Their operations are performed independently inside the memory. Okay, just say mm, So consider this as a memory. Okay, consider this as a memory, and these as a this is a thread 1 and this is a thread 2. Okay, this is our memory. Okay, this thread 1, thread 1, thread 2. Okay, so these are allotted with two different stacks. Okay, see, this is our stack memory. Okay, this is our stack memory. Our stack memory contains, each stack memory contains of a single address. Okay, just say this is named as one, uh, this is named as 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this these are the addresses of the memories. Okay, each memory is each thread is stored in a single memory. Okay, single stack of our memory. Okay, okay, this is stored in here. Just say, okay. So whenever you want to work with a thread or work with a sub process, so our Java compiler calls this address. Okay, calls this address. Okay, so that this process will be carried forward. Okay, so that this process will be carried forward. And whenever you call this thread 2, it calls, or Java calls, this second memory space. Okay, the second memory space. Okay, so that they don't get clashed or they don't merge with those processes. They don't merge the processes, so that it helps us to achieve, these threads helps us to achieve these threads helps us to achieve multitasking. Okay, and the next advantage of multi-threading is, okay, you can perform multiple operations together, so that it saves your time. Okay, so as we discussed, threads are independent. So threads are independent, so it doesn't affect other threads if there is any exception in them. If, if there is any if there is any exception in one of the in a single thread. Okay, these are the three main advantages of our threads. Okay, let's see an example for our multi-threading. Okay, let's see an example for our multi-threading. So now let's just create. Now we will be just creating a method public void run. Okay, this is a void method which doesn't return anything, and we'll cover it with try catch block. Okay, exception E and E should be capital, right? Exception E, and say E dot print status. Okay, and here to work with our threads, we need to extend our threads class. Okay, extends and say thread class. Okay, it should be extending the thread class. Okay, whenever a class which need to be working with threads, it should be extending with the threads. It should inherit the class called thread. Okay, and say here if I say just say syso and say here thread. Okay, thread and thread dot current thread dot get id. Okay, this helps me to get the id of a current thread. Okay, and I'll say is running. Okay, is running, and then I'll go into my main method. Again integer n is equals to 10. Okay, and I'll run a loop to activate our threads into I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and I'll say multi-threading threading demo t is equals to demo t is equals to new multi-threading demo. Okay, okay, and there is a method in threads called t dot start. Okay, there is a method called start. Okay, this will help us to start our threads. Okay, if I save this one and I run this one, see our threads get performed. Okay, see thread number 21, thread number 24. Here where these threads gone, see these threads are came here. See why, sir? Because those threads took some time to process. Okay, those threads took some time to process. Okay, unless those times taking the threads taking their time, another thread is getting performed simultaneously, so that we got our output as 24. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear for you? Is it clear for you? Yes, in the chat. Is it clear for you guys? So there is a process called deadlocking in multi-threading. Okay, let me tell you about it, which is asked in your interview questions. Let's see it. Deadlocking. Okay, this will happen in multi-threading. Okay, see, deadlock in Java is a part of is Java is a part of multi-threading. So it happens when a thread is waiting for an object to lock its memory. Okay, for an object to lock its memory. Okay, this is called deadlocking. Okay, sorry guys. So let me tell you how it can be done. Okay, so when it happens is when the first object is having a thread. Okay, and second thread is waiting for the object which is in the first thread. Okay, just consider like you are carrying a bag. Okay, you are passing a bag to your friend. Okay, there are 10 people, just say. Mm, uh, grade of person. Yeah, just consider this as a person 1. Okay, person 2, person 3, person 4, and person 5. Okay, if this person contains a box, which need to be transferred here, okay, which need to be transferred here. So if we want to bring this box here, he only can come and place it here, or he can do the thing called passing. Okay, he can give this box to him. He can give this box to him, and he can give this box to him. Okay, he transfers it to him. It goes like this. Okay, and then he places the box here. Okay, he places the box here. Okay, whenever this guy doesn't pass the box to this guy, what happens? He doesn't work, right? He doesn't work, right? This guy doesn't work, right? So this is called deadlocking in multi-threading. Okay, whenever the first thread is not passing any object, is waiting for an object, and the second thread is waiting for the object to be taken from the first thread, the deadlocking situation may occur. Okay, okay. So this is a concept of deadlocking in Java. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I got a call. Okay, let's continue. Okay, the next concept is date and time API in Java. Okay, date and time API in Java. So in Java 8, date time API got introduced. Okay, got introduced. Okay, this date time API helps us in working with this date and time API helps us in working with dates and time. Okay, dates and time. Okay, so this date and time API. So there is a small catch in this date and time API. Okay, so this date and time API is got calculated from this, and time API is got calculated from uh, 1st January 1970. Okay, so whatever the date you give, okay, this is calculated from 1st January of 1970, when this date API is introduced, or when this date, sorry, when this date API is created, they have given some basic date and time. Okay, which is and this is the date, and 0.0.0 is the time. Okay, milliseconds, in milliseconds. Okay, whenever you say, if you say I want to get current milliseconds, okay, it starts counting from 1st January 1970. Okay, 1st January 1970. Okay, so where we find these two date and time classes, sir? Okay, date and time classes are provided by Java from was from two Java packages. Two Java packages. What are they? The first one is java.time, and the second one is java.util. Okay, first one is java.time and the second one is java.util. Okay, see, let's see how can we work with these date and time objects. Okay, let's see how can we work these with these date and time objects. uh, let's go to this and say new class dnt, which means date and time. Okay, so let's say main method, and to work with date and time, to get my local date, what I say, to get date, current date, I say local date, as this is a class. Okay, date is equals to new local date. What I am doing here, I am creating the object for my date class. Okay, I'm creating the object to my date class, and I say sys date. Okay, so why it is throwing an error? Because it is throwing an error, we need to import it. We need to import local date. Okay, see this, we need to import date. Okay, say okay, so it takes, okay, this is not the method for this one. To getting a local date, we need to say dot now. Okay, this is a method to get our local date. Okay, if I save this one and run this one, so it should be like creating a date, right? Then please define the main method as public static void main string args. Is it right? It's correct. String args, then it is showing an error. Or JavaFX application call class must extend JavaFX application. The main method not found. We have written it right. So control X, SSO, HI. If I run this one, yeah, without the main method, right? SSO, SSV, save control F11. Yeah, see, so some compiler is not working properly. So see, I got my date. Okay, I got my date. Okay, so to get time, I say local time equals to local time dot now. Okay, local time dot now, and I will import it. After importing, what I say is O, and I will print time and run. See, I got my time. Okay, okay. If I say time dot, see milliseconds method should be there, right? Let's say dot now dot. So no milliseconds, I think here. Okay, this is how we can get time and date. Okay, this is how we can get time and date. So where we need to use them, sir? Where we need to use them, sir? So we can use them in our, like say, ticket bookings or registering users. Okay, user details, like if you are say if you are working with an application, just say if you are working with an application where this application need to catch each and every moment of the user. Okay, each and every moment of the user, like fitness tracking, there is application for fitness tracking. Okay, it need to calculate the date and time, amount of time he does his workout, right? He does his workout, right? So what happens here, we use this date and time to calculate those workouts. Okay, those timings. Okay, okay, let's just see. if I say here, just comment this part. If I say date, date is equals to new date. Okay, this is a class. Java.util.date, and I say just say for date dot get time. Yeah, get time. Okay, so this will help me in printing time in milliseconds. Okay, this is the time in milliseconds. Okay, this is a method to get milliseconds. These milliseconds are calculated from 1st January 1970. Okay, how many milliseconds have happened from 1st January 1970? This is the amount of milliseconds of time happened in 1st January 1970. Okay, so I think we can also convert them to dot and consume formats. Okay, yeah, if I say here, um, multiply this one with 1000, what happens? Multiplication divided with 1000. Say I'll be getting seconds, right? Yeah. Yeah, if I multiply it with 1000, it will be giving my. I need to divide it with 1000 so that I'll get seconds. Okay, these are the number of seconds. Okay, and if we want minutes, it should be multiplied with divided with 60. We'll be getting those minutes. Okay, number of minutes. If I divide this with another 60, what I will be getting? I will be getting hours. Okay, hours. Okay, so this is how we can work with date and time. Okay, so see, there are much more functions. Okay, there are more functions to work with date and time. So we can format our, see, we can also get, say, comment this one. If I say one more class which is local date time. Okay, is equals to local date time dot now time, say dt. Okay, dt is equals to local date time dot now. If I print this one, say sys o and dt, what does it give? It give me today's date and time. Okay, today's date and time, which is 20 hours 6 minutes 9 seconds and how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. How much? 7 crores or 78 crores? Okay, those many milliseconds. Okay, those many milliseconds. Okay, and we can also format our dates and times. Okay, just say I'll be adding here like before formatting. Okay, and then I'll say there is a class called date time formatter. Okay, date time formatter, which is f, we say f time formatter dot, I say of pattern. Yeah, we can here pass our pattern here. If I want um here first y here dash dash dd. Okay, and then I'll say my m should be capitals and then I say h because is capital, it confuses with milliseconds. Okay, and ss minutes, it confuses with minutes, so that our months should be capital. Okay, and I'll say take a string dnt, string date and time, and say I'll say dt dot format. Okay, dt dot format, and I'll take f. Okay, I'll take f here, and then I'll say sys o date after formatting, and I'll say bnt. See what happens. See, this is how I can get my formats. Okay, this is how I can get my formats for my date and time. Okay, this is how I can get my formats for date and time. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear, guys? So for this off pattern, we can give different types of patterns. How means if I say like this, if I say like this, dd slash slash y gives me the output as slash. Okay, gives me the output as slashes. Okay, If I say dd dash mmm dash yyyy, what does it do? Yyyy, what does it do? Let's see what happens. It gives the month here. Okay, month in a string format here. Okay, month in a string format here. Okay, if I say there is one more format which says e comma mmm space dd space yyyy. Okay, I run this one, gives me the formatted date like this. Okay, formatted date like this. Okay, there are much more examples to do with, to play with. Okay, to play with. Okay, so these are just the examples. So one more thing in this is, let's see, we can get a calendar. So we can get a calendar. Let's see how we can get a calendar. Say calendar C is equals to calendar dot get instance. Okay, calendar C is equals to so we need to import it, get instance. Okay, so we can do it like, we can get our date from the calendar class. The current date is the same c dot get time, get time in milliseconds, and we can get our time zone also. Let's see each and every method, and if say save this one and run this one, see we got a date and time according to our ist, according to our location. Okay, according to our location. If I say get time zone, What we got? The time zone is Asia, Calcutta. Offset is, okay. This is the data of our time zone. Okay. Okay. This is the data of our time zone. Okay. And we can say more methods such as get time in milliseconds, save and run. So these are the milliseconds happened till now. Okay. If I say c dot get, just get, I think I will be getting the calendar. Current date is 1. Okay. Perfect. 10. Current date is 8. No. So we can here pass 0 to 3. Get say calendar dot year. Calendar dot year. It will get me the year. Okay, it will get me the year. I say date. Okay, it will get me the date. Okay, it will get me the date. Okay, so I can also say CCOND second to get the current second. Okay, current second. This is a current second of time. Okay, okay, and if I refresh this one, I'll get current second again. Okay, okay, is it clear? So this is about date and time class in Java. Okay, date and time API. We call it as API. Okay, so this is it for today. Okay, I think it is clear for you today's class. Is it clear, guys? Yes, is it clear? Is it clear, guys?